Stage one of retirement is the extended vacation. And most people, when they retire, think that this is going to be great. I am going to play golf 7 days a week for the rest of my life, and I'm going to be so happy and so good. Of course, everybody's handicap goes up as they get older, but they don't really acknowledge that until it becomes obvious. But what happens is, for many people, after 6 months or 2 years, they get bored with an extended vacation. A close friend of mine who now lives in Florida said, "I can only play golf 3 days a week. I need to figure out something else to do." So when people start to get bored, they move into the second stage of retirement, variously referred to as disenchantment. And in the second stage of retirement, people start to grieve losses, the loss of friends. And we're going to talk about this, which is very problematic for men when they retire. The loss of identity or purpose. People who are doing things in our society, we define our value based on what we do. When I retired, uh, I thought long and hard about it before, because my identity was a physician and a software developer, and that's why I saw my worth in the world. And I thought long and hard before I gave up my medical license. So you go from an extended vacation, disenchantment, and then you start saying, "What am I going to do?" And you move into prototyping. There's a book called "Retiring: Creating the Life That Works for You," which was written by a group of professors in the area, talking about retirement. Their book is a good book in that it looks at retirement from a broad perspective, from before you retire through retirement. I'm going to talk about from retirement on. But in their book, they don't call it prototyping, they call it identity bridging. Because remember, I said in stage two, you've lost your identity, you've lost your sense of purpose, and now you have to come up with a new identity, that they have to let go of what they did and come up with a new identity. Now, for some people, what they do is they carry over their old identity. For example, they may have been a stock trader before, and now on the side at home, they're playing on the computer doing stock trading, and that's what keeps them entertained, which is fine. But for many people, that's not an option. So you start prototyping new activities. And then for people who find a new sense of purpose in life, they move into stage four. And basically, they now have a reason to get out of bed every day. Whereas in this disenchantment phase, they're lying around the bed. What am I going to do today? In retiring, creating a life that works for you, they give you some things you can do to try to find a new purpose, a new identity. What is the most valuable way you spend your time? What activities do you do that you lose track of time? What is it that you've always wanted to do? What hobbies have you used in the past? We're going to go through this later, but the book goes into some of these things of how you find a new identity. And what I found is people who I've talked to over the years who haven't yet retired, it's this fear of what am I going to do in retirement? They understand they're not going to be able to play golf 7 days a week and they're going to get bored.